Kim Osorio is here with me. And for those of you who may not have been familiar with the name, you know a lot of her work that you've seen her do. But Kim, we just want to take a moment to talk about all your accomplishments. I know you as a journalist. Yes. And by the way, never knew that you went to New York. You went to law school.
Yeah,
New York Law School.
You never knew that?
I did not.
When you didn't see me at the club back then? That's where I was. I was in school.
Okay. Well, good. Listen, brilliant young lady who, by the way, was the first ever woman editor-in-chief of The Source. And actually, Londell, when he purchased The Source, brought you back.
Yes, he did.
To come back to The Source. That's the impression that you left.
Yeah.
And also, as an author, you wrote a book called Straight from the Source.
Yes.
I want to ask you this because some people feel like when they wrote their books, I know when I spoke to Issa Rae, she was like, I think I did my book so early. It was, she was like, I would have made things like different. How do you feel about your first book now that you look back?
Timing is everything, right? Sometimes I look back, I haven't like read passages from it in a while, right? But sometimes when I'm like, I can't believe I said that.
It's like, yeah, she gets down dirty.
Yeah, I mean,
gritty,
I just, it was my truth.
And you went through a lawsuit with The Source.
I did.
So that was also important for you to have your side heard during that time. So that explains the law school. And then you were like, I'm doing this lawsuit. You knew exactly what you were doing.
I guess you could say that. I guess you could say that.
And earlier before the show, we were talking about how a lot of women are speaking out about things they've had to go through.
Yes.
And the different time period that we were in back then. And what was your lawsuit based on?
Mine, I sued for sexual harassment, discrimination, defamation, retaliation. It's a lot of legal stuff that I think people don't understand. But I think back then, the timing, it was a little early.
Right.
So whereas now, if you would file a lawsuit like that, a lot of people support women and support like speaking out. But even though it was 2002, it still feels like a lifetime ago, just in terms of where we were as women, right? So I feel like there was a lot of sort of like, oh my God, you shouldn't do that. You're going to ruin your career.
Yeah, and did it in any way? Because I know a lot of times we can be hesitant to speak our truths because people don't believe you. People will attack you for it. Right. People have jokes. They don't take it seriously. But did you have any type of repercussions when you did that lawsuit? Because your career is thriving today, but I don't know if there was a period of time that you felt blackballed.
I definitely. I think there was like, a couple of years where it was really hard for me to get back on my feet. It was like, the one thing you don't do is you don't sue. But me, I was like, hold on a second. You did what? That's against the law.
And you won the lawsuit.
I did. I won on retaliation and defamation. It is very hard to win a case in sexual harassment.
Because it is
on that claim.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's
just
kind
really
of a hearsay, like one person says one thing, the other person says another.
It's really the legal requirements of what you need to prove in court. And I was in federal court, so you have to have a unanimous jury.
Okay.
Right? A unanimous decision. And in federal court it's just a lot different. And so it was there have to be repeated instances, and you have to be able to prove it. And
everyone has really to unanimously say, yes, this happened.
It's really complex. So a lot of people are like, well, wait, you didn't win on that claim. I'm like, well,
that doesn't mean it's not true.
Right. And it doesn't mean I didn't feel offended. See, nowadays, if a woman says she's offended, everyone's like, wait, well, you offended her. And I think back then, for me, it was kind of like, well, I don't really know if that's offensive. Well, that's just the industry. And that's how, and to hear about some of those things nowadays, people are like, oh my God, that's what's happening. Awful. It's like, yeah.
Finally, some support.
Yeah.
All right. Well, listen, we have more Kim Osorio when we come back. And we also have Ask Ye. 800-292-5150. You see her credentials, okay? So if you have any questions right now, call us up. We are here to help you out for Ask Ye. 800-292-5150. Kim Osorio's here.